What receiving mode are you in? And the only way to answer that is, well, how did you feel before that thought came? How did you feel before the impulse came? Because you are a receiving mode. You are always receiving. Your mind is a receiving and transmitting mechanism. So who you know yourself to be is not exactly just a single entity. You're a stream of consciousness. You are source energy in a body. You're not just one. You're a stream. You're anything that you're a match. You're literally finding matches. You're achieving matches to vibrational channels, and whatever's on that channel is flowing into your mind. So you can literally receive anything. You can receive from all of your dearly departed. You can receive from all the geniuses, because source is all broadcasting, and is your birthright to broadcast from that infinite intelligence, to be that infinite intelligence, and not to be that human who's on the pinch, who's pinched off, and who's here to do it all alone, and who's here to prove themselves to a group of people who really don't have a reward that's bigger than the alignment than that one would feel when they actually connect with who they really are. Because that's what this whole conversation about manifestation is. It's about connecting to who you really are. Because sometimes, well, most of the times, our human friends, they take their effort from a place of making up for the fact that they have misaligned energy. So they think, I'll just goose up my desire and it won't really matter what my belief is. And that's not a bad way to sort of, do it, but it's not the best way to do it, because it's not sustainable and it's hard on you. And so what you want to do is release resistance little bit by bit and make it easier on yourself. And you want to, it's like you want to identify your resistance, and the only way to sort of deactivate it is to soothe it, to make peace with it, and have that sort of vibrational management moment, so that when you're making peace with it, you're no longer pushing against it, so that resistance is not going to bother you. You're trying to daydream, you're trying to use this process and this process to make up for the fact, or to ignore the fact that you actually don't believe that what you want is going to come, because you have questions about why, or you even have questions about when, how, exactly the details. And instead of dealing with that resistance, meaning you're trying to make yourself feel better, because that's the answer to your resistance, it's making yourself feel better. Instead of trying to do that, what you're trying to do is you're trying to do process after process, but you're not dealing with your foundation. You're not dealing with what's at the root of your discord. So that's the question. What receiving mode are you doing it? Are you doing this from? Because if you're in the receiving mode of, I'm feeling good, I'm satisfied, then now you, in that place of satisfaction, you can think about your desires. And as you think about your desires, as you are connected, then you actually have something to offer yourself and everyone else. And that's the thing. You want to find your connection. That's your job. Your job is to find your connection and then go out in life and then think about your desires. Because when you find your connection and then think about your desires, you actually have so much more fun. It's so much more pleasurable. And that's the thing about all of these processes. When it comes to manifestation, you're not trying to manifest it. You're not trying to get it all the way over here, because guess what? What you want already exists. So you don't have to tell the universe, because you've already told the universe as a result of your living here. You've told the universe piece by piece. You told the universe exactly what you want. So yes, any time that you spend, whether it's scripting or journaling or getting more specific with the universe, that's just for your advantage. That's for your advantage. And that, what is that advantage? Fun in the moment, feeling the hands in the clay, feeling yourself putting your foot on the pedal and increasing the momentum, the energy, because it's really fun. Because that's exactly what a creator does. A creator speeds it up and slows it down, because when you speed it up, when you know you're not from a receiving mode of, oh, I'm satisfied, when you're in the receiving mode I'm dissatisfied, so let me take action to make up for, let me take physical action to make up for the fact that I'm dissatisfied. So instead of working on the dissatisfaction and just reaching for a better feeling thought and going the vibrational journey, instead of going on that vibrational journey, you're going on the physical action journey, meaning what can I accomplish right now that will make me feel better? But that conditional love will never work for a creator like you, because now you know too much. Now you understand that you can't make reality change enough to make yourself feel better about who you really are. And because your emotions are not about reality, your emotions, because you're vibrational, are about you and you, about your perspective, your thought, your vibration, meaning your thought, your energy, this very thought on whatever subject you're thinking in this moment, and how your inner being's opinion is jiving with it. Because that's what this juxtaposition, that's what this pushing off or hitting off of each other is, because you have another version of you. And the thing about this other version is that this other version is not perfect, and you're not trying to become like it. This other version is non-resistant. It's not like your helper, but it's your inner being. It's who you really are. It's the version of you that is still in the non-physical, because you are non-physical energy, and you are meant to be non-physical energy while you're in this physical body. You're not only this one person that you know as, this is my name, what's yours? It's, I'm your collection of source energy, your whatever your frequency is. That's who you are in that moment. And what we're saying is, get connected to that vortex, and you can take pleasure from your manifestations. when we're talking about manifestations, what we're really talking about is your ability to realize. So anytime you open your eyes, you're manifesting. There's manifestations everywhere, and our human friends, they only think that manifestations are whatever they're seeing in their, whatever's in their bank account, whatever's in their garage, whatever physical items that seem to, you know, get crossed off their list. That's manifestations. But we're saying, well, a thought is a manifestation. An emotion is a very important manifestation, because when you're feeling a positive emotion, then the details and everything else that will support your path is happening, is going to happen very soon. And that's the thing that's really interesting, is that the path to everything that you want is already unfolding right now as we speak. It's not that you're gonna finally get there and the journey is going to start. The journey doesn't start once you get the money. The journey is starting right now and how you feel, and that's exactly what your emotions are about. What am I doing along my journey? Am I too busy, distracted, talking about where I am, or am I talking about how I'm feeling? Am I going journal? Am I making the effort to find satisfaction and make it easier on myself? Because the thing is, you're not going to do a process. You're not going to do any manifestation process to make what you want come, because that's law of attraction's job. Your job is it's so interesting, because that's the humaning effort. That's the effort of, I need to be the one who goes out there and gets it. Because and we don't think it's because you want to prove yourself to other people. We just think that it's a small piece of fine tuning, which is that you're not actually, you know, notorious. You're not actually this person, that person. You're actually source energy in a human body, and that source energy is so vast. But to sort of play the game, you have a name, and it's better to remember that you're a vibration, on that who you are and how you feel in this now moment. More importantly, how you feel is only about how you and you are doing, not how you and the government is doing, not how you and your parents are doing, only about how you and you are doing, meaning what you've put in the vortex and what you're doing in relationship to that vortex. So that's the thing, is that everything that you want is already queued up. It's already here. So you don't have to go out and get it. All you have to do is, in your chilling out, in your allowing, in your relaxing, in your pondering that idea, and you're doing the processes, you're releasing resistance. That's the thing. And as you release resistance, you steadily become a consistent match to your desire. And then it flows right into your experience in the form of ideas at first, and then you get inspired action. And before you know it, here comes the book, here comes the outline, here comes the songs, here comes the awards, here comes the people who will help you, here comes the audience, here comes everything. And it's very fascinating, because the manifestation isn't just the only physical manifestation. You can enjoy the pleasure of your manifestation before it comes, and the pleasure that your manifestation can give you is phenomenal. It's so amazing. It's almost more fun than the physical manifestation, but the physical manifestation is really fun too. And what we're really talking about is, what are you going to be doing in the interim? Because if what you want's already coming, and you just can't help but be the recipient of all of it, because your desires are inevitable, because that's the law of attraction. That's what this vortex promises you, is that what you want is vibrational here, and it is going to flow into your experience. That is, if you're not talking smack against it, if you're not talking in opposition to it. So as you sort of discontinue or deactivate the talk of, where is it, how come it's taking so long, what am I doing wrong? Because you're never doing anything wrong. You just need to stop justifying why you don't have it right now, and sort of feel better, and sort of do whatever you can to feel better, whether that is getting off this subject, whether that is finding a subject that's easier to be a match to, or be a vibrational match to the vortex version. So instead of talking about money, maybe you're talking about freedom, maybe you're talking about clarity, things, subjects that you haven't messed up with resistance, that are just easy for you to get right into the vortex on. Or maybe you're thinking about the subjects that you're interested in, and you're being very sensitive about what thoughts you're thinking, because you really want to be a match to your desire. It's really amazing when you clearly know, okay, I want this. Because then when you clearly want this, it's also a risk. You run the risk of highlighting exactly where you are, meaning, I'm not where I want to be right now. So there always is a chance for that discord. But we think that you know the difference between a thought that feels good and a thought that doesn't feel good. And we think you know the difference between efforting and allowing, because efforting says, I'm going to do this to get there, and allowing says, since I've already done all this, what am I going to do right now to make myself feel good and have fun and enjoy? And then, and from that place of satisfaction, from that place of standing where you are right now and finding satisfaction, because you're unconditional, because life doesn't have to change for you to feel good, because you know that it's all about the journey. So while you're on this vibrational journey, you're like, hey, I'm going to think about my finances. And when I think about my finances, I'm not thinking about my finances to affect them. I'm thinking about my finances to affect how I feel. And it's very powerful, because now as you affect how you feel, you're going to feel good. And that's timing. That's how you master timing, is you talk about what feels good. And since it feels good, you're going to continue to talk about it. That's what the emotional manifestation is about. When you think about what you want and you feel good, then everything you want is right around the corner. And now what you have to do is, you just have to keep that momentum up, or you just have to not talk smack against it. But if it's something that you really want, then you can sort of have fun in continuing to talk about it and parlaying that momentum into higher speed. So what you want is because the thing is, the benefit of talking about what you want and why you want it, and just talking about what you want in general, is that you get to have fun. You feel the pleasure of it. You feel how your inner being feels about it, because that's what the good emotion is telling you, is that you and your inner being, you're feeling your inner being's enthusiasm about the vibrational version. So that's the benefit. And you also, another benefit is that you actually practice the receiving mode on that subject. So like we said, you're more clearly sensitive to us. So anytime you're off of the presence, anytime you're off on the vibration that will bring you everything that you want, anytime you're off of that vibration, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it, and you're gonna know, hey, I'm doing that thing right now. So your guidance system is in hypervigilant mode, and so that's the benefit. And the downfall or the risk is that it's gonna agitate the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And so in that dissatisfaction, it's just up to you to go general. It's up to you to make yourself feel better, because you are your point of attraction. Everything is going to come to you. You're not going to go chase it. You're not going to go do effort, because you don't think that you can just naturally have it. And that's the thing that's really interesting, is that do you believe you can just have it? Because you can accept that there's a vibrational vortex. There's a vibrational version of what I want. And since there is a vibrational version of what I want, it's going to come to me, because that's how there's a momentum. There's a natural momentum of this vortex. So it's like making its way towards me right now. And in my absence of, oh, I need to do something in order to get it, in my pleasure of thought, in my pleasure of, in my intention of, okay, I'm going to think about this subject just because it feels good to me, and in it feeling good to me, then that's the power, or the power of non-resistant thought. The power of your daydream is in the pleasure of it. So as you make it more about the pleasure, then you take momentum is taken care of, because you're focusing on what feels good. And as you focus on what feels good, there's more momentum there. And since there's more momentum, now you're going to start to see physical evidence of things that make you feel just the same, vibrational way. And so that's the thing. You always get what you're feeling. You always get what you're matched to in a vibrational sense. So as you change how you're feeling vibrationally, then you have to get the vibrational essence of that everywhere. And that's how your point of attraction works.